high schooler, Wataru has a huge crush on his classmate Aika. Unfortunately, he has a poor reputation on campus and is mistakenly known as a stalker. Suddenly, Wataru suffers from a close call by a soccer ball, and the near-death experience changes his personality drastically. Wataru starts to understand the inappropriateness of his previous actions, and he becomes withdrawn from his classmates. Aika and her best friend Kei are surprised.
Nigga finally realizing after getting hit with a soccer ball is insane, bro. Come on, bro. What is this? What is this story, bro? What is this?
Bother them in class, even after Kei insults him. The class later becomes shocked when Wataru seems to avoid Aika. The other boys interrogate Wataru, but he just tells them they're in a bad mood. Wataru decides to go to lunch by himself instead of begging Aika to have lunch with him, shocking the rest of the class. While he is eating
why do they make MCs like this, bro? Nobody's
He is approached by Rena from the next door class. Rena soon starts to visit Wataru in class. Meanwhile, Aika can't help but feel a pang of jealousy, as Rena has recently parted ways with her boyfriend, Kosuke, and seems intent on getting close to Wataru as a form of retribution against Kosuke. Wataru eventually confides in Rena about a painful experience from his middle school years when he faced harsh rejection from a girl. It was right after this ordeal that he met Aika, who treated him with kindness, igniting his feelings for her. However, after numerous rejections, he has decided to finally let go of his pursuit of her. Rena empathizes with his past and reconciles with Kosuke. Aika, still bewildered by Wataru's continued avoidance, decides to visit his house to discover the reason behind his sudden change.
What the fuck? So, okay.
However, she remains unsatisfied with his claim of reforming his overly persistent behavior. When he insists that they are now merely classmates, she leaves his house feeling upset. The following day, Kei confronts Wataru, making him feel guilty for years of clinging to Aika, which prevented her from forming many friendships. Without Wataru, she finds herself truly lonely. Wataru makes the decision to create more space between himself and Aika to allow her to build stronger friendships. Shinomiya, who serves as the head of the Public Morals Committee, approaches Wataru to commend him for an interaction he recently had with one of the committee members, Inotomi. In this encounter, he apologized for inadvertently frightening her due to her fear of men. Shinomiya seeks Wataru's advice on how to uplift the spirits of the committee, which often faces
what is this, bro? What is this anime, bro?
Reassures her that any support she offers will be valuable, emphasizing that the willingness to provide support matters more than the support itself. In an attempt to avoid unnecessary attention, Wataru provides a false name, introducing himself as Yamazaki to Shinomiya. However, this strategy backfires when Shinomiya later encounters the real Yamazaki. Wataru apologizes, explaining that he believed revealing his true identity to the morality president might lead to complications. Shinomiya forgives him when Inotomi expresses her gratitude for his apology and her determination to overcome her phobia. As Aika begins to spend more time with other girls, Wataru's sister, Kaede, persuades him to assist her with student council paperwork. Meanwhile, Shinomiya successfully extends her support to Inotomi. Aika extends an invitation to her new friends to visit her house, but unintentionally excludes Wataru from the invitation. She tries to rectify this oversight by inviting Wataru separately, but loses her confidence when Shinomiya inadvertently interrupts. During an honest conversation...
Wait. So, let me get this right. This nigga is all on you, stalking you. This nigga almost got hit by a soccer ball, and all of a sudden had character development to stop trying to. Like, bro, come on, bro.
Inotomi's efforts to conquer her phobia.
And that got her. Oh, now she trying to
talent
like,
for
bro, come
understanding
on,
people and reading their emotions. Days pass as Wataru keeps his distance from Aika.
Can you?
Understanding people and reading phobia. Shinomiya begins to suspect that Wataru might possess a talent for understanding people and reading their emotions. Days
Can he though?
pass as Wataru keeps his distance.
What is the plot of the story,
even
bro?
as the
Can he
girls
though?
transition to wearing their summer uniforms. He realizes that he hasn't actually seen his sister Kaede since the weekend. Under some pressure from Yamazaki, he is compelled to socialize with other female classmates, including the outspoken and sharp-tongued Koga. Aika, consumed by jealousy, pulls Wataru into an empty classroom with the intention of reprimanding him. However, unable to admit her jealousy outright, she abruptly exits the room, leaving Wataru puzzled. The student council president...
How can you say he can read other people, bro? Come on, bro. Like this shit, like this cliche ass like
recent change in behavior. She believes it might somehow be her fault, stemming from mistreatment on her part. Wataru reassures Kaede that his transformation was entirely by choice, and there's no need for her to worry or alter her treatment of him. He's accustomed to her teasing and finds it unusual that she
bro.
would
This
suddenly
nigga
display
almost,
concern
bro.
for him. Aika, who had been eavesdropping on their conversation, intervenes to coerce Wataru into apologizing for being unkind to Kaede. Inadvertently, she reveals that she was worried enough about him to follow him, leading to her hurried departure, bewildered by her own emotions and actions. Wataru, too, is left in a state of confusion. Feeling better, Kaede returns to her usual self, instigates an argument, and as usual, gives Wataru a hard time. Aika remains perplexed by Wataru's absence. Kei suggests that since Wataru has been pursuing her all along, it might be time for Aika to take the initiative and chase after him. While encountering the Morals Committee once more, Wataru has the opportunity to meet Inotomi's friend, Aya, who harbors a strong distrust for all men, especially when they are around Inotomi. Wataru notices that Inotomi has grown more self-assured, which Shinomiya attributes to her increased interaction with him, which has diminished her fear of men. One of Wataru's classmates, Tokaki, harbors romantic feelings for Aika and hopes to confess his emotions to her. Wataru pretends not to be concerned and plans not to interfere, but he wrestles with mixed emotions. Later on, Aika nearly asks Wataru to join her for lunch, but she becomes awkward upon learning that he had previously sat with Shinomiya. Instead, she advises him to dye his hair, as it has grown out lazily and his roots are visible. Subsequently, Kaede takes sadistic pleasure in assisting him with the hair dyeing process. Wataru performs poorly in his exams and realizes that his usual motivation, driven by his competition with Aika to excel academically, has waned in her absence. Surprisingly, Aika shows remarkable improvement, leading Wataru to conclude that his presence had been a distraction for her. He regains his motivation after realizing that even Tokaki scored higher than him, sparking his determination to excel once more. Soon the summer holidays will arrive for the class. As the other students make plans with Aika, they notice that she and Wataru haven't been seen together much lately. Meanwhile, Wataru meets the aristocratic Marika and her friends, who are spying on Aika. Aika herself investigates, and Wataru tells her that some pampered girls are following her. The next day on the way to school, Wataru is heading home when he saves Aika from getting wet from a passing car. Aika gives Wataru a handkerchief in class to thank him, but Wataru ends up falling asleep out of exhaustion. After he gets scolded by the teacher, Wataru asks to be sent to the infirmary, but he ends up passing out. Aika and Kei check up on Wataru while he recovers, and while he is gone, Shinomiya arrives in class to find him. Aika soon becomes worried about Shinomiya's interest in Wataru. She and Kei head back to the infirmary later, but it is clear that Wataru isn't in a good mood. Things seem to get worse when he is not responsive to Kaede and Shinomiya. The next couple of days, Wataru stays at home to recover, and he is surprised to get a get-well present from Aika and Kei. A few days later, after he recovers, Marika confronts Aika at school. Marika intends to become the new student council president, and she is looking to use Aika as a poster girl for her campaign. Though when Wataru points out the flaw in her plan, that all the attention would go to Aika instead of Marika, the pompous girl leaves angrily. A few days later, Wataru heads to the lunchroom alone, when he is waved over by Inotomi. He joins her and Shinomiya for lunch, and Shinomiya asks if he could join the Public Morals Committee with them. But when he accidentally offends them, he decides he would not be a good fit for the committee. Later he runs into Aika, who fixes his hair, but ends up embarrassed. Later in class, their teacher asks for a volunteer to help manage the upcoming trip, and the class volunteers Wataru.
Nigga, what? Wait. Am I missing something?
Volunteer to help manage the upcoming trip, and the class volunteers Wataru.
The class, like,
extra duty, so he gives the responsibility to another classmate.
The class though, like, is insane.
Will also be volunteering. Their popular classmate Sasaki maneuvers himself to become her partner. Kei teases Wataru about the pairing, but Wataru tells her he doesn't care that Aika and Sasaki will be working together. Later after school, Wataru is working at a used bookstore when he sees a grade schooler getting bullied. After helping the student, whose name is Kauta, Wataru meets Kauta's older sister Fuka, who thanks him. Wataru immediately becomes impressed by the graceful and mature Fuka, who he believes is a college student. Later, Kaede asks Wataru about the invitation to join the Public Morals Committee, and she tells him to seriously think about the offer. The next day, Fuka visits the bookstore to see Wataru, and they chat about their lives. She becomes impressed after hearing about his high school, and reveals that she comes from an overprotective family. She gives Wataru a present, but he becomes confused when the present seems a bit childish. The next day, Wataru spends some time with Fuka in the city after she stops by his workplace again.
Hold on. He tough.
Him a handmade bracelet, and he decides to go visit the same shop to possibly get a present for Aika, since it will be her birthday soon. Wataru is surprised with the sudden outing with a college student, but while they are together there seems to be some inconsistency with her behavior as she sometimes acts childish. When they arrive at the store, they accidentally become mistaken as a couple. While exploring potential gifts, Fuka gives him good advice for his potential gift. Wataru reveals that he is giving the gift to a female friend he cares about, but no longer has a crush for, and Fuka agrees to help him. Meanwhile, Aika, her little sister Irie, and Kei all decide to go to the beach together. Although Irie and Kei have fun, Aika still seems a little melancholy. Meanwhile, they spot the handcrafts shop that Wataru and Fuka are in. Meanwhile, Wataru spots a picture of Fuka and her father on the wall of the shop where Fuka is wearing a school uniform, and he discovers that Fuka is actually younger than him and she actually isn't a college student. Somewhat embarrassed and disappointed, Wataru
Wait, hold on. Let me hear this. Let me hear this first.
and Fuka clear up the misunderstanding, and they peacefully return from their trip. And while on the bus back, Fuka falls asleep on his shoulder. A few weeks pass and summer vacation is almost over. Wataru's boss reveals that he is posting a new position at the bookstore soon, and Wataru discovers one of his classmates is applying for the job. His classmate Mina is normally reserved and shy, but Wataru's boss quickly hires her because she is a regular of the bookstore. Wataru introduces himself to Mina and tries to initiate friendly conversation, but Mina seems uncertain. On Mina's first day on the job, Wataru tries to teach her various tasks around the bookstore, but Mina has trouble with her tasks. Things get worse when Mina has to deal with a difficult customer, and Wataru has to step in to help her. Mina ends up crying and running away, and Wataru raises his concern with Mina with his boss. Meanwhile, his boss's wife also tries to help encourage Mina. They decide that Wataru will try to take on the more difficult customers, but that Mina needs to be a bit braver. Wataru gently suggests that she could take on easier tasks, but Mina panics and begs to keep the job. The shocked Wataru decides not to push her as the timid girl heads home. Meanwhile, Aika and Kei are having a video call discussing the end of their summer break. Since Wataru is in the same group, he joins their video call to get advice on the Mina situation. After explaining he made a shy coworker cry, the girls scold him a little but encourage Wataru to keep reaching out to his coworker. The next day, Wataru apologizes to Mina at work for his behavior, and is surprised to see her acting braver. He watches a determined Mina deal with a customer efficiently, and compliments her on her performance. Later, when they are on break, Wataru asks
she might be calm.
why she seems so determined to keep the bookstore job, and she reveals that she is trying to spend time away from her home. Nina is normally close with her brother Yu Ikanos, but she has since become uncomfortable around him after seeing him kiss a girl from school. Wataru but she has since become uncomfortable.
Why they had to, bro? I don't know if I can handle, but I don't know if I can. I don't know, bro. I don't know,
A
bro.
girl from school. Wataru becomes more understanding of Mina, and he decides to help her adjust to the bookstore. One day, Fuka arrives at the store, and Wataru introduces her to Mina. The two of them bond over their common love of books, even though Mina is surprised that she is older than Fuka. Later, Wataru asks for Fuka's help to train Mina by having the younger girl roleplay as a difficult customer. After their practice, Mina
Wait, hold on. My fault, y'all.
troubled when she hears
It's almost
that
done.
Wataru will be leaving the bookstore after summer vacation, since the bookstore normally only needs one worker. She also has a traumatizing experience at home when she tries to cook special eggs for her brother Yu, and he invites his girlfriend Yuri to try them. Upset to see her older brother eating the omelets with someone else, Mina retreats. Later at the bookstore, Wataru can tell that Mina is troubled, and suddenly Yu appears outside the bookstore. Yu asks his younger sister if she would like to have dinner with him, but since Mina is trying to avoid him, she tries to hang on to Wataru. Wataru decides to help them try to reconcile at a nearby cafe, but his efforts are interrupted when Yu's girlfriend Yuri also arrives. The new couple express their concern over Mina and try to get her to quit her part-time job, but Wataru interrupts and stands up for his coworker, and they agree to give the younger girl some space. Later, Mina thanks Wataru for his help, and she cries when Wataru tells her that she has grown very much throughout the last few weeks at the bookstore. In the last few warm days of summer, Wataru's part-time job at the bookstore is nearly over. Mina and Fuka continue to bond over different books at the bookstore, even though Wataru finds it funny that the older Mina sometimes acts more childish than Fuka. Later at home, Kaede compliments Wataru for taking care of Mina, who is the younger sister of her subordinate. She reveals that as the vice president of the school, she has her own information network, and knows a lot about the other students. She also asks if Wataru could help the student council run the student tours for this year. Wataru is confused as the volunteers have already been chosen, but Kaede informs him that the student council and Shinomiya especially will need extra help. She reminds him that he owed Shinomiya a favor for rejecting her offer to join the morals committee, and Wataru agrees to call Shinomiya to volunteer his help. Shinomiya politely refuses his help, until Wataru states that he wants to know her better on a personal level. The next day, Wataru helps Shinomiya patrol the school hallways to check up on the representatives who will be giving student tours to potential students. Aika is also at the training, and she turns down an invitation by Sasaki to hang out after school. Meanwhile, Aika is thinking about the first time she met Wataru when they were younger. After he suffered an accident in the cafeteria, she helped him, but he later confessed to her on the rooftop the next day. The pushy
God damn, my nigga. Yo!
Wataru continuously ambushed her nearly every day afterwards, cheerfully greeting and complimenting her, and they later ended up going to the same high school. Now things have changed, however, and Wataru hasn't been hanging around her as much.
Like, god damn,
Realizes that she misses his presence, and when she hears him around school, she tries to find him, and they end up running into each other. After Aika reveals she was looking for him, Wataru becomes confused with her behavior. She admits that she missed spending time with him, and the two of them have a close moment together before getting interrupted by Kei. The three of them hang out together and talk about their summer vacations. Wataru explains that he is helping the morals committee run the student tours, and Kei starts to tease him that he could have been partnered with Aika as a...
Nobody does that, bro. Like, I hate anime, bro. Like, if somebody talking about you, bro, you're not doing that. Like, how that's not real, bro. That's not real.
Aika as a representative instead of Sasaki.
Niggas getting talked about, and nigga has his eyes closed, shivering his eyes and shit. I don't know what that is.
Uncertain with her teasing. The next day, the student tours start, and the representatives greet the possible incoming class. Aika and Sasaki give a tour together for some potential new students, and the tour group happens to include Fuka. During the tour, Sasaki asks Aika if he can spend time...
She said younger, bro. Middle school, my nigga.
Her and her sister again, but once again Aika declines. Meanwhile, the tour group runs into a group of boys bothering another representative, and Aika steps in to scold the troublesome boys. After the boys apologize, Fuka spots Wataru helping around campus, and she goes to greet him. The rest of the tour group follows, and they tease Fuka about her friendship with the older boy, shocking Aika and Wataru. After an embarrassed Fuka leaves, Aika confronts Wataru about his friendship with the younger girl, and Wataru admits that he spent time this summer vacation with Fuka instead of going to the beach with Aika.
Shit. I don't know. Okay, it's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
An embarrassed Aika tells him that in exchange for these transgressions, he needs to hang out with them, and they make plans for a group hangout together. A few days later, Aika goes to visit the bookstore to see Wataru, but ends up soaked from the rain. She expresses surprise at seeing a braver Mina, but also becomes troubled when she sees Fuka at the bookstore as well.
Dog, what, bro? How do you not know it's? How do you not know it's a like?
Wataru share a moment when she accidentally trips, and she asks Wataru if he could come visit her and her sister at their house. Later, Wataru and Kei go to Aika's house where they play with her little sister Airi, even though the young girl tires Wataru out. After some gentle teasing from Kei and Wataru about how similar the bratty Airi is with her older sister Aika, the three schoolmates decide to go on a walk. Kei attempts to give them some time alone, so she makes up an excuse to leave so that Aika and Wataru can walk together. As they walk together, Aika starts to talk about her growing popularity at school, and how different it was from her time in middle school. She tells him that she lacked the emotional bandwidth to deal with friends because of her concern over her family finances at the time. Wataru apologizes for troubling her with his constant pestering and cheerleading for her in middle school, but Aika admits that his behavior might have benefited her in the long run. Now that the family is more stable, and she has a better social life at school, she misses his constant presence. Suddenly, the two of them are interrupted by fireworks, which lead to Aika hugging him because she is scared of loud sounds. The two of them then return home, with Wataru tentatively reaching out to Aika and her eventually holding hands with him. The next...
Bro, come on, bro. That's not real. Oh my god. Like, bro, come on, bro. This damn awkward ass shit, bro.
Next day starts the new term at school, and the two of them hesitantly walk to class together. And this is all for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you.
Like, yo, that shit is not real,
I don't give a fuck. I'm